Hey guys, Marisa at kitchentablestamper.com. You guys ever just kind of purchase something, you love it, but forget about it? I don't think I'm alone here. Got this mini pocket envelope dies from Stampin' Up. It's now an online exclusive. It came out in one of the actual paper publications from Stampin' Up. Super useful die set, but it's not in the publication, so, forget about it. We're going to use this handy dandy die set. It has this large die that makes a little mini pocket envelope, and then a bunch of other fun wingman dies. We've got a little rectangle and a scallop rectangle, a little oval frame. I have to remember that I have this one. It's great for sentiments and tags. You know I love tags. Look at that one. These two pieces right here, this one that looks like a bikini top, and this one right here makes the cutest little three-dimensional bow. A couple of different ways to put holes in the top of your tags, and then a fun reinforcer. Definitely need to use that more too. It's a great way to add a pop of color to a card or a tag. And then this great little leaf embellishment. So that's the die set. I've just put it in a crate with the other basic shape dies that I have and completely forgot about it. So what we're going to do with it today is just make a cute little thinking of you fondly, a sweet little treat. I love these Moser Roth candy bars. I picked them up at Aldi. You get 5 bars in a box. They have lots of fun flavors, but of course 85% dark is my favorite. And it coordinates beautifully with the Thoughtful Journey Designer Series paper. So we're going to take a piece of the Thoughtful Journey Designer Series paper and kind of frame up where we want our treat box here to land. Let's see here. This is the front of our treat box, and I want to catch some of those gorgeous colors there in the field. So that's where I'm going to cut. So I'm going to just use a little bit of low tack tape here, and let's run this through the Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. I love this. If you like to make treats and you want a really quick treat, this is it. Like if you need to make some fast or you need to make a lot, to make things just to have on hand, just in case, if you're that kind of giver where you like to have something on hand just in case, is a great way to use up 6x6 Designer Series papers. And it does all of the cutting and scoring, everything for you just in one pass through the machine. So it really is very handy. All right, so we've got our pocket, but we need to do a little bit more die cutting. So let's pull that. There's our pocket. We'll set it aside for just a minute. And I'm going to grab some basic white cardstock. And we're going to run some of the dies from the Thoughtful Wishes bundle through the machine right now. Got this little sprig and then the single floral. I need 2 of these little floral for my design. I have one already by the magic of television. Let's run the others. And then I've got this little label. This label is for our sentiment, and that is from the perennial postage dies. I'll show you that die chart as soon as we crank here. Okay, so now we have our sprig, our single floral, and our little postage rectangle for the sentiment. I love this. Can get all the pieces we need from this from like 1/8 of a sheet of basic white cardstock. So this design in particular is a great way to use up beautiful Designer Series papers and turn them into even more beautiful treats with just a little bit of basic white cardstock. Okay, so we have our 2 flowers and then our big floral sprig and our label. This is the perennial postage dies, and we're using this skinny little with the postage on both ends. It's, if you're substituting, about 1 7/8 by 3/4 of an inch. Let's see, let's stamp next. I'm using the Thoughtful Wishes bundle here. The dies that we just used, the floral and the sprig, come from the Thoughtful Wishes dies. Thoughtful Wishes stamp set. Got Thinking of You Fondly. You can bundle these two products together and save 10% right now. My ink is Blackberry Bliss. I thought it was the perfect way to bring in some color but still have a nice bold font. We're going to stamp that right on our label. Beautiful. Slide that aside and let it dry. While that dries, let's get a scratch paper and some Stampin' blends. So I've got Petunia Pop and Old Olive here. We're going to turn this white die cut into a gorgeous multicolor focal image. Look at how beautiful that is. I'm going to take the brush end of my Old Olive and just hold this flower at one end of the sprig and just swipe over all the stem and leaf parts with the light Old Olive. You can use Mossy Meadow here too with this paper. It would be gorgeous, but I lost my Mossy Meadow marker. It's always something. So we're going Old Olive. I don't mind the Old Olive either because it does make it pop and stand out against the background. So, all right, we've covered all the stems with the light Old Olive. Now I'm going to take and do some dark Old Olive, kind of going down each stem from the flower. And I'll do a few and then I'll blend it out. Maybe add a little bit along the leaves. You can do as much or as little shading here as you like. And you can keep it very simple and just color it, or you can go in and add a little shadow underneath every one of the leaves. It's really up to you. Okay, once you've got your green and it's shaded the way you like, then we're going to switch to Petunia Pop. And I'm going to use the light Petunia Pop brush and the dark Petunia Pop bullet. And what I'm going to do is do these flowers just a few at a time, maybe 2, maybe 3 at a time. I'll do the light Petunia Pop with the brush, just cover the whole thing, and then get in there with the dark at the base. And then I'll do another set, 2 or 3 at a time. You'll notice too that I'm building the dark. So I'll go back to those first ones that I did and add some more dark at the base so I can really get some variation, some light at the tips of the petals and dark kind of at the base of the flower. All right, while you're doing these, do a bunch of them. They'll come in handy for decorating all kinds of cards and treats. Look at how beautiful that is. I'll move it towards all white. Isn't that gorgeous? All right, so we'll set that aside and let that dry for a little bit. These guys, we're going to need to shorten them up just a little bit. All of our stems will be just a little bit too long, so let's get rid of that. And let's assemble our pocket. I'm going to use some tear and tape here. You can absolutely use liquid glue for this. If you hang around here, you know I'm kind of impatient. I like that if I put together a box or a bag or a pocket, something kind of 3D, I like the tear and tape because it just grabs. I don't have to hold it until it sets. So that's what I'm going to do here. The tab is kind of skinny, but that's okay. You are going to just run your tear and tape along. Make sure you don't go past the edge of the paper, but if you go past the folds at all, if there's any adhesive sticking out here, then you can fold that up. You don't want it to stick past the cut edge. Okay, so while you're doing that, it's okay if it goes past to the outside of the pocket at all, because you can just fold that back in. If it goes past this side, then your pocket will be all stuffed up on the inside. All right, so we've got our tape on the 2 tabs. Now we're just going to fold this up and make a nice smooth edge. It's that easy. Guys, can you And you can tape that to the inside of a card and add a gift card inside of a card. You can fill it with all kinds of treats or goodies. We're going to put the perfect candy bar in there, the best one in my opinion. Let's go ahead and get our ribbon now. I want to show you this petunia pop ribbon. I thought it looked a little bit bright and clean and maybe a little edgy, and we don't want bright, clean, and edgy. We want more of an artistic, natural feel. So we're going to take a pair of scissors. After we get what we want, so we wrapped it so that it was like a loop and a swoop, you see? And that's plenty, right? Now what we're going to do is we're going to take scissors and we're going to go along the edge of the ribbon, and we're just going to make snips, little tiny snips. Don't go too deep, because what you want is to make it look a little rustic. Not like it's garbage, not like it got dragged behind the garbage truck, just a little rustic. Okay, so we've done some snips all down the side, and now we're just going to run it between our thumb and index finger. All right, let's go ahead and do the other side the same way. Just snip, just break that border on the edges, just sporadically, maybe every inch, half inch, just sporadically. Now you'll see that it's starting to loosen up and it's starting to shred a little bit. Now you don't want to get crazy here, because again, you're just turning it to more of a natural feel, maybe a little aged or vintagey. Give it a little shabby chic, not shabby, shabby chic. So you can overdo this. Just do a little bit at a time, and see you're starting to get a little bit of fraying on the edges, a little bit of texture. That's what you want. A little bit of fraying at the end, not all crazy. This ribbon does want to come apart, so it's going to come apart pretty easy. Don't overdo it. I mean, after all, what is it? I don't know, 6 inches of ribbon. It's not a big deal. If you don't get it exactly how you like it, just start over. It's okay. But the idea is you can go back and you can snip again. You can pull some more, but you can't put it back together if it gets too sloppy. And just rub it between your thumb and index finger. Kind of spread the weave of the ribbon, fray the edges a little bit. Kind of disturbing its flatness. All right, now we're going to go back again, and we'll do the loop and swoop. And again, we want to make sure that we like the way it looks. Not too new and fresh, not too raggy. All right, now what I'm going to do is grab a little bit of tear and tape, and I'm going to wrap a little bit of tear and tape around here. Okay, so it kind of holds it together. Then I'm going to grab some linen thread, and we're going to add even more texture with some linen thread, so we can pull off the liner of the tear and tape, and we're going to loop the linen thread and tie a knot. Okay. So we've got our knot. It's sticky in the center, and you can put it off on the edge of your pocket. Now you're going to make a big loopy bow here so that it'll show out from under your label. Get the loops in the tails. You can cut it a little bit bigger at this point because then you can adjust the size of the loops after you add the greeting and trim the tails. So it's a little bit exaggerated right now, but that's on purpose. Now we're going to take Thinking of You Fondly, and I'm going to add the sprig to the pocket about where I want it. I want it to go extend past just a little bit, and then I'm going to grab some mini dimensionals. I'm going to use my mini dimensionals that are going to support the Thinking of You label to also secure the sprigs. So we're going to put a couple right on there, and then we'll put a couple on the end of Thinking of You Fondly. So between the tear and tape that's still exposed here, these dimensionals that are also holding down your sprig, and the dimensionals at the end of the Thinking of You Fondly banner, we're going to have good support for our sentiment banner. All right, so I'm going to arrange our linen thread before we add our banner over top. And before we secure down too tight, you know, I never really quite burnish anything until I'm sure of the placement, until I'm sure I love it. So I'm just gonna take these guys and a little bit of liquid glue. We're gonna add them in behind. So I've got my ultra fine point little bottle here. Love this guy. And I'm gonna add a little bit of glue on the stem and leaf here. And then I'll slide these in, kind of avoiding those dimensionals. That's good. I want one to stick up a little bit higher than the other one. Again, a little glue on the leaf and stem. And we'll slide this guy under. And with the liquid glue, we have a little time to adjust. Tuck one a little lower, one a little higher. Love. All right, now we can deal with our bow. The loops are good. The tails are a little bit long, so I'm going to trim my tails a little bit. There we go. And I'm going to get a glue dot. And I'm going to take your pick tool and just reinforce where the banner goes over the ribbon. I'm going to add a little bit more adhesive to secure. So I'll grab a glue dot on the tip of that tool there and then just lift it up. There's our Thinking of You Fondly banner all secure now. And last, we're going to add some candy. Get one of these Moser Roth Dark. They're delicious. If you like dark chocolate, like really dark chocolate, this is a good one, and it's very affordable. Then a little bit of sparkle. I have some neutral adhesive backed sequins here, and I'm going for the gold. Let's get some of these little sparkles on there. We'll do one down low and two kind of mixed in with our sprigs here. There it is. Thinking of You Fondly. All right, you guys. I'd love to see what you can do with this mini pocket envelope die or any other Stampin' Up! Die that you have forgotten in your collection. It's our challenge over at the Craft Social. Craft Social is our crafty little corner on the internet. It's a Facebook group with an amazing crowd. If you'd like to come and participate in our challenge, show us what you can do with those die sets that you've forgotten about. Maybe the mini pocket envelope die. The link is in the description below. If you've got any questions about the project, you can email me, staycrafty@kitchentablestamper.com, and to shop Stampin' Up! 24/7, buzz over to Marisa Alvarez.stampinup.net. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.